Well, how do we say this?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what the name of this title
Kyrgyzstan?
is. Oh, Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan?
Kyrgyzstan, I think. Kyrgyzstan? Yeah, Kyrgyzstan. Next to Kazakhstan. Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan?
I'll say it so that I sound...
No, it's okay.
Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan? Okay. Kyrgyzstan. It's Kyrgyzstan.
You know what? I'm just going to leave that in because we were trying to figure out the pronunciation. I saw online there was a few different ones, and I'm sure this is one of those things that, like, some people are like, no, it's this, and other people are like, no, it's that. You know what I mean? So
maybe.
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan.
That sounds right.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That's the country this movie's from.
Yes, it's next to Kazakhstan.
Yes, that for sure.
It feels very like that region of the world.
Sure, because we watched another movie earlier.
Stinker.
In the Fantasia Fest lineup called Stinker, and that was from Kazakhstan. Yeah. And then we thought maybe this was from Kazakhstan when it started, and then we looked and it was like Kyrgyzstan. I was like, I'd never even heard of this place.
I have.
So it was like bordering. Anyway, let's move on.
That's the country of origin.
So it's called Burning, not The Burning, the amazing 1981 slasher film that most us slasher fans love. This is just Burning. And this is a very unique film. Once I like realized what this was going to be, I was into it. And I liked it at first too, but I felt like it was kind of very tropey at first. But then when I realized like, oh, this is what we're doing here. So I guess I'll save that for the end. Overall, I did really like the movie, and I think it has an extremely powerful message, especially from the region that it's from, even though it's a place I'd never heard of. But I'm just talking about that general area.
Sure.
So I think that this is a very important and powerful message, and I don't typically feel that way when I watch these types of movies, because I feel like in this region, from the films that I've watched in that area, they, in their horror fare, which is I think the only thing I've ever watched from these countries, they're very typical.
Sure.
And with this one, I actually felt like this genuinely had a message and point to it. This is the whole reason. The horror and all of that stuff is done fine, and it's fine and well and all, but that's not what the intention of the filmmaker was. They were like, oh, we're going to do it through the horror lens, but we absolutely have a message we're trying to convey, and I feel like that landed very well in the end.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was a really cool film. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. We'll talk about kind of what makes it unique, but that was one of the reasons why I thought it was so cool, because I really like the storytelling method that's used, and I thought that the performances from everybody were awesome.
Yes.
There's a lot of range shown for like each of the three main characters.
Agreed.
And that was really, really cool to see, and something that I think has to be very fun to do as an actor. And so all that was rad, and I agree. I think the messaging is super important. It's a nice kind of break in maybe what you would see for more traditional conservative type of areas, and I really like that. So the ending will definitely have you in a very strong anticipatory kind of like is it gonna happen?
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? You know, and I feel like that's like the good message there is in that moment where you're just sitting there as the audience like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Like, oh, and I'm not gonna say anything more about that specific aspect, but I was 100% fully in that moment, like, oh god, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Really, really engaging at the end,
which is great. Yeah, you know, as far as anybody wants to know what the hook is for the premise, if you want to avoid that, check out the film when it comes out. We have no idea when these films are going to get released, but definitely add it to your calendar. So essentially the plot and the gimmick, so to speak, here is that we are dealing with a small town where a house catches on fire. There is a local convenience store that a bunch of people congregate at after the fire, after the burning. And one man walks in, people are kind of like, what the hell happened?
Mm-hmm.
He tells his story. We then follow that story as he recounts his version of events through his lens. Then we go into the second person about 30 minutes later, and it's their version of the story, and so on. And what's really cool about that is that each person is kind of giving their side of things, and each iteration has every character different.
Yeah.
And it's incredible how wide of a range these characters kind of go through, where one's like really nice and sweet, and when the movie starts, you're like, oh, I really like this person. The other person's like a total asshole, gives you that perfect like shithead performance, and you're like, I fucking hate this person.
Yeah.
Right? And then the second story, or maybe the third story, totally flips these people, and they're super likable, and you're like looking at them and you're like, fuck, I don't like this person. And then they're like so sweet, and you're like, oh, this person's actually very sweet. So very good performance on them for being able to kind of play the same character, but totally different versions of them.
Totally different, yeah.
With the exact same story like 3 times in a row, but told differently.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever really seen it like that, because it kind of plays sort of like an anthology, but it's not.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of be like a take on, there's his side, her side, and the truth.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Which is really cool. I really love that. And yeah, like I said, I think that has to be such a fun thing to do as an actor, because you get to really explore a few different versions of the same character.
That's the same character, yeah.
Yeah, super neat. So, I mean, I think this is a big recommendation. We really enjoyed it. Very, very well done movie. Some good scary stuff happening here and there. And just great, like, ending, too. That really will have you kind of biting your nails and, like, wondering what's going to happen. And a very just powerful ending, I think.
Yeah. So. And it's cool, too, because, like, the secondary characters outside of them, they're different.
Right.
Like, they're different characters, kind of. And I thought that was cool, too. It was like, this guy's interpretation, they're this. And then this guy's interpretation, they're this other thing. And you're like, oh. So you are kind of faced with, at the end, like, okay, like, what version of this story is accurate?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only movies that I can think of that are even sort of like this are like Sliding Doors, right? Where she gets to the train on time in one version, and she doesn't in the other version, and we're seeing like 2 lives simultaneously coexisting next to one another, and they're like playing the same characters, but it's branched out, because like in the one where she makes it home, like, she makes the train, she catches her husband cheating. Mm-hmm. And the one where she doesn't catch him cheating. And we get to see the branched timelines, like, right next to each other. And they go back and forth between them. And Gwyneth Paltrow's, like, her character, like, it's the same character, but it's living kind of 2 different lives in the same movie.
That's cool.
It's not the same.
It's not, because they're not
parallel
interpretations
timelines
or perspectives.
Right. I'm just saying that's like the closest thing I've got off the top of my head. Because it's any time I've ever really seen this done, it's typically done in like alternate realities, right. Which is kind of what's going on here, sort of. Yeah. It's just the alternative universe that's in your head.
Right. It's like,
This is just like a sewing circle gossip,
cool.
Which is what this really ends up being. It's just people. It's like if you go anywhere, it's like this guy's got this version of the story, and this girl's got a different version of the story, and we get to see it on screen. Which
it's a really unique method. To explore the story,
and the way they weave them together, like the way it's like, oh, the story changes. And it a little bit,
right?
Where it's like this happens, and then in the other story, that happens, but just like different,
right?
And it's like, oh, that's what that is in their version.
Yeah.
Okay, because you keep waiting for all the same things, and basically all the things that happen in the other
like
story
all the marks,
happen,
like all the the big.
But they happen differently.
Yeah,
I can't.
cool.
I'm trying to go around.
Yeah,
things.
you just have to watch it when it comes out. Keep your eye out for it. Yeah. Watch it. Let us know what you
very unique film. And let us know if you can think of another film like this. I feel
it's
like
a really. I would love to watch more films like this.
I feel like I've seen something like this, and I'm totally blanking on it. And somebody's gonna bring it up.
Maybe we've watched something. Oh yeah.
But
can let us know if we're forgetting something obvious.
Yeah. It's just. Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. So keep your eye out for it. Yeah. Give foreign horror a chance.
Yes.
They got a lot of good stuff coming out. Fantasia Fest has had a lot of variety to it. We've gotten a lot of different kinds of films. Mm-hmm. And this was definitely one of the more unique ones in its premise.
Definitely.
So, big win. And let us know how you're actually supposed to pronounce this country's
Kyrgyzstan.
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 That's right.
That's right.
Okay. We're good with that.